Next up, Battle System 2.0,
which went live today.
which went live today. So we briefly touched on the things that we didn't like about Battle System V2, and within a week they were addressed.
Yay.
So we were talking about over reliance on chain burst and the different methods, like the different elemental versions of chain burst being wildly unbalanced.
Welcome
Like
to Earth, where it didn't actually matter.
it's a 30% cut in 7 out of the 8 V2 raids. 7 you can't.
And six of those you can't play with Earth.
Yeah. Then the light one specifically under 40%, you just it doesn't work anymore. The chain burst, the old V2 chain burst effect.
Oh yeah, because it healed, and you can't heal after 40%.
Yeah, so they just turned like all of these chain bursts were just sad, and also having to do 2 full chains in order to stop an omen was just it meant that you weren't stopping enough of them.
You
Uh,
also meant that you couldn't CA enough because you had to hold off for that omen.
you had to hold off specifically for the omen with like nearly a full meter. It was a bad. It was an unfun gameplay pattern where you just had to hold in all of your meter. Like the last time that they encouraged us to hold in all of our meter, it was when 3 attacks at cap did more damage than CA. So
Yep,
that was a long time ago.
that was like 2016.
They upped the cap on CAs, and now it's like, oh, CAs do well now. And so chain burst became fated chain now. Fated chain is now a button right beneath where the meter is in V2. Let's see if I can find a V2 fight. Sorry, Eric, I'm going to be leeching in a second.
I
Let's
mean,
just
he
demo
plays
this.
light. He's fine.
So, Fatal Chain's right here. It builds up the same way as before, but when it's full, you press the button, and once that button gets pressed, then you deal 1.5 million elemental damage and not plain damage. There is no longer an elemental unique effect, and then for the next 30 hits or for the next turn, whichever comes first, then you get 20% extra damage on the Seraphic modifier. It's not on the Seraphic modifier. It works like a Seraphic, but it's separate from Seraphic. I'm sorry. And you just do a lot of damage. And it counts for all of the omens that used to say cancel by doing a chain burst now say you can cancel this by pressing this FC button. It's a
Oh,
huge improvement.
they did change at a lot of the omens in this update.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I'm gonna do.
some of them, one of them required to have blind and a delay, not delay, and dispel effect. Now it's just a dispel effect. So they made also in this update they made the omens easier to achieve for a player.
Which is also a very good change. I'm a big fan of what they did with that part. So I was actually trying Beelzebub earlier today. Like Beelzebub was one of my least favorite fights in the game. I did it exactly a certain number of times. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I did it exactly enough times to uncap my astrals, and just like I just can we not anymore? I just don't want this. Now, after I've changed around a lot of how I have to play that fight, it works a lot better now. Like I enjoy the fight a lot more. It changes my timings, sure, but that's healthy. It plays better. All right. Next up, what were we going to say? So Fatal Chain. Oh yeah, they added actual just chain bursts back. So now when you CA multiple times, it just plain does your old chain burst. It just it does what you were supposed to do in the first place, which actually helps damage a lot. A lot of these a lot of these chain like omens that are not chain burst, they said deal this many millions of damage, and having to do that For example, in Galleon, getting 15 million damage without um, getting like a getting a chain burst, it was tough. Like
Yeah.
I have Seofon on my team, and I was using his skill 4, and I wasn't hitting the number because I had to bring freaking Valentine's Grimnir. It hurt. I was like, man, this sucks. I hate Galleon. I still kind of hate Galleon. Let's
I'm
be
still
honest
kind of
here.
hate Galleon.
Next up, other things that we didn't like about it. Here, let me just pull this back in. You used to not be able to guard and press a button on the same turn. So sometimes you would
You would oopsie.
you would oopsie. So this was another Beelzebub thing, by the way. If you oopsied at 50% and you couldn't guard anymore, you would multi-attack into Langolin field and kill yourself. It's like, oh, that's an awful feeling. Thanks, game.
Oh, I guess it costs the raid.
I guess I just healed Beelzebub for a bunch of millions and cost us all a bunch of debuffs.
End
Uh,
time.
Sorry guys. Don't blame me. It was V2. So that's gone. I like it. Valentine's Grimnir is now much better in this game.
Because he Valentine's Grimnir is supposed to cast a skill turn, so he gets his stacks, right?
But if he had to guard, had to choose between either his buttons or his life, and it's one of those
And
things.
Galleon likes to trigger like every 2 turns.
He likes to steal meter also. What a freaking jerk. Anyway, there were a lot of characters though that this did really badly with. Like Lobelia wants to hit a button a turn. Um, there are a bunch of linked skill characters, or characters who were just like, I just want to be able to press any button, literally any button.
I think currently my favorite thing right now is Summer Alex redirecting everything to her and guarding.
I'm doing that with Seox right now. It's very good. I'm having fun. So,
Good changes.
very good change. The last change that we should talk about, guard all.
So I don't think this is really explained well in the UI.
It is not explained very well. So if you hold down the guard button, then all 4 of your characters in the front row will go into guard. It makes a really satisfying sound, by the way. It's all of these 4 clangs at the same time. It's sick.
However, things we found out is there are still some bugs with it. Like with what's his name? Asteriora?
Astariola. He can't guard. He can't guard while he's asleep still.
And so
Unfortunate.
so through like error messages
I'm just gonna turn this on. Hold on.
when they try to do guard all and then try to switch off. But it was needed, but it needs I feel like that button like that method needs to be like more shown because I didn't know about it until I thought I saw it from someone else.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about like how where you can fit that button in this, and it's like it can't go here because this is too close to the attack button. It shouldn't go here. It can't go here because that's where full auto is. It can't go on this side because that's where the ability queue is.
UI is hard.
UI is very hard. But the last change to V2, the one that I'm extremely happy about, is that omens are only checked for at the end of the turn, which means against a jerk like Ewiar got so angry at you for trying to queue up a summon, and now they only look for it at the end of the turn. So now the turn ended, I should deal 12 million damage. I can do that.
One of the worst feelings was breaking Omen and then triggering another Omen by summoning.
Also really bad. Or, even worse, using a potion
Yeah.
and triggering another
Well,
omen.
oh, Guess all my characters can't guard right now because they used all their abilities to break that last omen. Guess I die here.
So now that's gone. Yay! All right. Anything else about V2?
Not that I can think of.
That's not a bug. He's just bad. Come on. Come on. All
Look,
right.
he plays himself.
Next up, Tower of Babyl. This is something that we first saw by name in Granblue Fantasy Versus,
And
but
then we also saw a glimpse of it at the end of
Long Live the King.
Long Live the King free quest.
Where we've actually seen it is in pretty much every RPG with a tower climbing mode ever. Like people
Well,
compared it
yes.
to the Luna Tower in Princess Connect. The Luna Tower in the Princess Connect, yes. There's also what's the name of the FGO event where you just have 100 floors to climb?
I forget what the name of the event is. They only did it twice.
But you climb a tower with 100 floors, and each floor is a different challenge. They're doing
Uh,
exactly that.
I
Um,
hope at the end of this tower there's not another tower because that's what happened to FGO.
so this is the thing about this tower. The tower is going to grow every time that the event runs. Um,
Oh, so it is actually Luna Tower because that's what happens to Luna
so
Tower.
tell me more about Luna Tower, by the way, because I don't play Princess Kent enough to know what's going on in there and how to compare it to what GBF has.
So the thing is that Luna Tower they actually add like story segments each time they run the event, and they run the event every month.
Hmm.
So the thing is that you're supposed to climb the tower. You do your a normal fight of there's like five enemies. There's
Hmm.
sometimes two shadow versions of of a character yet you own,
Okay.
and you just climb the tower, right? The thing is that because the tower is so long in Princess Connect, they have a skip button for it, for up to the boss fights for to a certain range.
Yeah, the tower in Granblue Fantasy Versus does not have a skip button. You play
Well,
all
it
of those
shouldn't
levels. You can
because
auto them
it's
though.
new. It's new, so it shouldn't have it yet.
Hmm. So the new gimmicks of the Tower of Babel in GBF. So number one, you make four different parties of sorry, you make three parties of four. This reminds me of Kefka's Tower in Final Fantasy VI. The MC is only one of those 12. It's not going to be the MC in 3 plus the MC in 3 plus the MC in 3.
Oh, so he only like summon in one of those then.
It I'm not sure how that's going to work.
What if you put Leary on on another team?
That's a really good question. That's a really good question, actually. But it says
Well,
here on the quest you will have the MC plus 12, plus 11, so 12 people at max, including the MC. And in the middle of each fight, you can actually swap allies. So they're going to have new mechanics, new rules. It's coming in September. I don't know what's going to happen.
so also the other thing in Luna Tower was that at refresh of every day you're able to heal all the characters that died during it. But because Granblue Fantasy is a different game, we have that shouldn't be a thing.
We'll find out. There's a lot of things that they're going to do with this. So there's going to be a first clear bonus. There's going to be missions, and then there's going to be a completion bonus. So there's just going to be a lot of prizes for people to earn. We'll see what happens. Um, but the last time we climbed a tower in GBF was Pandemonium. That's been a long time. Have you ever actually read the lore of the Pandemonium stuff in co-op? Because I haven't.
Nope. Nope. I just know that Pandemonia and Beelzebub wants to make it fall and destroy the world.
Yeah,
That's all I know.
that's all I know too. Next up, Dread Barrage, which in English it says underneath it March of the Valiant. October 14th. This is the event that is going to alternate with Unite and Fight, because in between the Unite and Fight that we have in a little over a week and the next Unite and Fight, which is it's in November, we're going to have this Dread Barrage / March of the Valiant. This is PVE only. There is no PvP racing aspect of it. There's no points race. Um, there's no rankings or anything like that. It is you and your crew fight a boss. When that boss is done, you get a prize. Then a new boss that's slightly stronger than that boss shows up, and this cycle continues. And so, how does clan battle work in Princess Connect? Because this is basically clan battle.
So there's rankings in clan battle. I don't know what it does because our clan sucks.
I see.
So that one's lost on me about the no ranking. But other than that, uh, for Princess Connect, every 300 AP you spend, you can use to fight a boss, and you can only go to 3 fights of a boss per day.
So it doesn't say anything in here about the rules of how often you can join a boss fight. It doesn't say if there's a limited number or anything like that. It just says that you're going to earn badges, you're going to earn honors. Those things will accumulate and give you stuff, and it will also give Valor badges, the Unite and Fight currency. So you can use this to pick up your Evil Lights, you can use this to pick up Sunlight Stones, Gold Brick. Those are the three sort of premier prizes.
So
But the
one of the things though is that because of the way how Princess Connect handles it, you can't just infinitely do it.
mm-hmm.
So it stays quote unquote healthier that way for a
Right,
user. So they just spend their entire day mashing their face away. The
because
question is how will that work for this? Because there has to be a limitation somewhere.
there has to be a limit, and we don't know what that limit is. Because we already know that AP in GBF is
Is
not a
infinite.
limitation. It's not a limitation at all. It is sort of a recommendation of being like, hey, you used a lot. You might want to hold back a little bit, maybe. But it's not actually any kind of real limitation anymore unless you are very new. So we'll
We'll
see
see.
how the rules of this pan out. We'll find out in October. One big question: will they reset the Valor badge prizes between Unite and Fight and this, or will they run one of each before resetting them? I don't know.
It's a good question. We don't have an answer.
We don't have an answer for that. We'll find out in October. Speaking of things that we'll find out later, Replicard Sandbox was originally scheduled for summer. It's now scheduled for November because of coronavirus. They
Yeah,
just couldn't work on it.
there's only so much you can work with remote.
I really want to play the What's This Weapon game, but we already played that when they first revealed Replicard Sandbox at the anniversary stream, and we still don't know, so we're going to keep moving along.
I like the moon.
This has to be a staff, right? Moon thing? I don't know, man. Alright, so
Just like Granblue.
another thing that we've basically gotten from Princess Connect, starting on September 2nd, which is a Wednesday, there's going to be doing something called the Drop Up campaign. It's a new kind of campaign, and it says, for a week, we're going to have a drop rate up on certain things, certain fights, and there will be extra drops. There will be purple chests.
What if it's purple?
But what if it's purple? So this is only for the host. You get double chests, and you get extra drops. The first time they do it, it'll be fire favored. Sorry, not fire favored. It'll favor fire fights. So they're saying that the first week, which is September 2nd through September 8th, it'll go Colossus. All of its forms will have drop up. So Colossus Omega Impossible. Twin Elements will have their drops raised, and Shiva will have their drops raised. And then
So,
after that, it cycles to water.
so the thing I have about this, and someone actually brought it up during your stream, when they first showed us,
Mm-hmm.
is that this and like makes people want to host more, but it also de-incentivizes people trying to join more, if it makes sense.
It does, because these extra drops are for the host. Right there, double chest drops for the host. And if it's just the Magna, that's not a problem. Most of us can solo those now.
But still, with a new player though, who's trying to get
With the new
double
player who's
drop.
trying to get help, yeah, that's unfortunate. Twin Elements is kind of infamous if you're trying to solo it for just looping, putting your team to sleep. That
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
is not something that is very fun to solo host and have no one join for the first time. But
To be
here's
honest,
the
I full
thing.
auto it now
Here's
because
the
of how
thing.
my
There
setup
are
is.
going to be extra drops for people who join.
Okay.
There are going to be extra drops for people who join. It's not going to be double, but there will be extra drops.
Okay, like that helps the problem.
It really does help the problem. So you will get extra drops as a joiner. So we'll all be mashing our Shivas for a week, and then we'll be mashing Europa for a week, etc., etc. Moving on.
I can finish my Ekisax.
So this is one that also got people a little annoyed. They did
Mm.
announce that this would happen a while ago.
So
They were they
they
announced
first announced this like last year
they
summer
first
stream, wasn't
announced
it?
this last year. It used to be called Narikiri skin, and now it's called Mirage style. So this is where you can let your main character pre- uh, pretend to be another character while still actually being Gran Regita. So you retain your class abilities, all of your many mastery bonuses that you've accumulated over time. Um, but they were saying they were trying to figure out a way to introduce it into the game in order to one pay the artists for their work, and two not make the player base revolt. So there is a new they were like we were looking into putting it into a new lower priced draw. And so this draw will have character skins, which were revealed last time. So um, that was when they showed off like new Zeta skin, new Gawain skin. These were the first two shown here.
Hmm.
And it will also have these Mirage styles to let your main character look like other characters in battle. And it'll have these palette swapped job class sprites that they also showed a very long time ago. I believe it was last summer.
It was actually last summer. I remember these.
And they're all going to be in the same draw. And the draw is going to be 200 crystals or 200 MOBA coins in order to draw from it. You can do 10 draws, which is 2,000 MOBA coin and 2,000 crystals. And it will have a spark system. There will be every roll that you do will lead to a cerulean spark. Essentially, it'll be named something differently, but 200 of these will let you pick the skin of your choice. And they showed three more of them on the summer stream. So there's Jean, there's Charlotta, who is nobly executing something right there.
That looks so cool.
how many how many times have you seen that happen to you, DJ?
3 times
All right, and
because
then
no one plays Charlotte up here.
oh okay, and then Siegfried with the dragon. That one's good. I like that one. Um, but yeah, this is a special gacha. It's a new gacha. It'll cost you so it'll be instead of 90,000 crystals for a spark using crystals for a character. If you want a skin, if you want a specific skin, it's 40,000.
So it's the thing is with this type of gacha, it's cosmetic gacha, which
Mm-hmm.
I've seen in other games before actually.
So the only game that I personally have seen a cosmetic gacha like this in is in fighting games by Arc System Works, where you literally fish in lobbies and you just pull out stuff that is like character colors and like lobby avatar doodads. That was in Guilty Gear Xrd. How did it work
Correct.
in Dragon Ball Fighters?
You earn Zenny and then you rolled.
Oh, you just rolled Zenny straight up.
Yeah, you just rolled Zenny.
Okay, but yeah, so people were wondering about how to get these, and that is how. Um, I understand when people say that this is a cash grab. I totally feel where they're coming from, but this is the thing. since they're cosmetics, you just can leave them alone if you want. Like
Yeah.
this is another form of loot box. I understand. People have very strong reactions to the words gacha and loot box, but I mean, among other things, did you know that Cygames has given out a clean 69,000 crystals in the past month?
I did know that.
Oh yeah, I told you that.
No, you didn't tell me that. I just know because I just look at my stash.
Yeah, I'm at 2 sparks again.
I'm at 3.
it's that's a lot. They've just been giving away a lot, and this is one place where people who have a lot of characters, who are sitting on gigantic dragon-like hordes of crystals, can go, hey, this is something where for the first few rolls I am guaranteed to get something new. And when it comes to like these skins, when it comes to these job colors, you can use them. No matter what, no matter where, you can use these. Like if you want to be a blue arcane duelist, you can just equip like Chaos Ruler as a class and just wear this. This doesn't require you to like find a team to equip it to or anything like that. Like these are just things that work with what you already have and don't require you to like rebuild or um, don't like force you to find new challenges. So
Yeah.
I don't know what else there is to say about this, but they're just saying like this
It's
is
cosmetics.
it's currently in the works. It'll take some time, but they're hoping that like all of this work will lead somewhere that people will like. And it's like the art's just really good. It's more content for each character, which is good. Next up, they do not have much to say about the 6-star Eternals. They're still scheduled for the end of the year. I feel like this is kind of like the Evokers. They'll just be like, okay, guys, 2021 anniversary. I can't say that for sure. I'm just saying that this pattern has been seen before.
They'll show at the scheduled Granblue Fest. They're gonna show like all the slides for the characters, and then they'll come out in anniversary. That's what
Sure,
happened last time with the Evokers.
because this does seem like a lot of work. But
You also have to play test it and balance them to a degree.
to a degree,
They're supposed to be strong. We're not gonna front that.
their stated goal was to make sure that the Eternals are the strongest crew in the skies again, and just let you see that. But yeah, they're still saying it'll be in 2020. Um, given the teaser, we'll believe that when we see it. All right, another change that is sad but understandable. So every year for birthday, New Year's, Valentine's Day, White Day, Halloween, Christmas, every character has had lines, voiced lines, celebrating each individual occasion. And that's what I just named 1, 2, 3, 4. So birthday, New Year's, Valentine's Day, White Day, um, Halloween, Christmas. So that's 6. That was
That's
six
a
new
lot of
sets of
lines.
lines for the cast of hundreds in GBF. Even if you eliminate dupes, the cast is hundreds, and so they're saying that the strain on the writers just keeps growing and growing every year. The strain on the writers, the strain on the studio, the strain on getting the actors in and everything. So what they're going to be doing is halting characters at year 5. Once they have 5 of each, then they will stop. So their example that they gave is that currently Lancelot, the water character, has 5 years of lines. Lancelot will no longer get new lines after this year. Lancelot and Vayne, however, have only been around for 2 years. So there are still 3 more years of lines for Lancelot and Vayne.
Yep. You know the real sad thing is, Dom?
What's that?
Chained up Lancelot.
I'm so sad about Chained Up Lancelot. SR Lancelot is like one of our yearly pilgrimages.
It was the gift that kept on giving.
Every year we would just be like, "All right, it's Valentine's Day. We're going to the dungeon, boys."
No, my favorite was Christmas. This is a spiritual projection of myself.
But I understand, like, it's just a logistical burden that increases every year. So they're leveling off. What if they continue gifting us with just SR Lancelot? Unfortunately, the only exception listed is Lyria and Vern. Lyria and Vern will every year have a birthday greeting that is new.
You mean the characters that are always with you keep having more lines?
The characters who are literally in the studio every month
Yeah,
because they will always have new lines for every event ever. Yeah.
yeah.
So I understand why people are disappointed. I'm disappointed, but I also understand like every time they add a new character, then that means for every year for going forward, they have to book that person. They have to write those lines. So they have to assign a writer. They have to assign some studio time. They have to assign a sound engineer, etc., etc., etc. And they also like add art to certain characters each year, and that's like what 4 to 8 for White Day Christmas each time. Like it's it's an increasing logistical burden, and while this is a slightly ham-fisted way of doing it, I am glad that they're not breaking the bank doing just a small nice thing. Because remember what they had to do to adjust Valentine's? Like it used to, just to remind people of the story of Valentine's. Sending Valentine's to Cygames on Valentine's
Oh,
Day,
I remember this now.
someone just took it upon themselves to answer a bunch of those little ones. They would give like little, they would print out little cards with the character if it was sent to a character, and they would write out a little thank you. And then this went viral, and the next year they're like, "Oh God, there's so many of these," and so they had to start making sure that they mass-produced those. And every time there's a new character, they're going to increase the number of these things that they have to make every year. Um, and so that's why they had to turn it into something that you bought in the store. They were like, okay, this is unviable. This will break our banks. This will overtax our resources. We understand that the fans really love this, and we're still going to do it, but we're going to do it in a way that doesn't kill our artists, doesn't kill our writers, etc. And so right now, they're on a 2-year cycle for the Valentines in order to avoid overtaxing the artists, overtaxing the writers. So for the last 2 years, the messages were the same. For the last 2 years, the line art for the Valentines were the same, where the right now, year one, black and white. Year two, colored version of the same thing on like glossy Polaroid style.
Hmm.
And so, it's one of those things that they have to do to keep from just like this would be the equivalent of tech debt, where they would just have to keep feeding this growing beast every year, and it would just turn into a logistical nightmare. So unfortunate, but I understand exactly why they're doing it. Anything that you have to say about it, DJ?
I posted in chat.
I'm happy I get one more year to get the. God damn it, DJ!
She was July 2016, therefore she didn't have White Day or Valentine's that year.
You know that they're going to get a new version, and then they're going to reset that count.
Yo, please do.
Oh my god. Okay. Next up. Uh, so this has been asked for a long time. September. Side story will get the Door to the Skies School Idol project collab to go permanently into side stories. You can get all 3 of the Muse classes, and the long-awaited
Third years.
third year 5-star is coming. Like,
Yeah. My favorite president is that idols learn failings.
I don't want to talk about it.
So they learned it somewhere, remember?
I don't want to talk about it. It's just it's one of the very quintessential like what kind of game is Granblue Fantasy things, and you just have a bunch of idols shouting phalanx.
All right, moving on.
Um, yeah. Moving on. So we got one of our collabs for the coming year announced. It is the
Shadowverse
Shadowverse
the
anime.
anime.
I don't know anything about the Shadowverse anime, but some people like Mimori.
Look, my plan was to watch it at your place, so
You know, we'll find out if
I
that's
haven't watched it yet.
viable. All right, and then they have another collab scheduled for December. They aren't telling us what it is. Do you think it's Gachapin and Muku again?
We'll get playable Muku, dude.
Playable Muku summon Gachapin? I do
Yeah,
that. I do that.
the Gacha event was hilarious.
Like when you understood what the gimmick was, you're like, "What the hell?"
It was just Granblue Fantasy, but with Gacha.
All right. Next up, so the Muscles and Delusion skin that comes with Blu-ray 7. This is a must-get for me because when Fukuhara introduced these skins, he said specifically, they're like, you can tell how much our staff loves pro wrestling. We added so many pro wrestling moves to this skin.
Oh, that's amazing! I can't wait to wrestle a Titan though.
He freaking wrestles a macho from the sea in that episode. I want to watch that episode so badly.
My Blu-rays coming in September.
And also, DJ, I mean, given that the Jita episode is pure Yuri,
Yeah,
it's like it's pure DJ land right there.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like so this version of Gran, full on like wrestling luchador references. This version of Jita, she's very late for school. That's what they said. She's late for school.
Look, this the Gita skin would have been more exciting if they didn't run the current story event.
Yeah, this one is like a more modern um,
Because
uniform design.
Albion.
It's the Albion design, and the other one is super old, like 30s era, 50s era Japanese schools. But we got our first look at the Granblues anime.
Oh yeah, that clip was great.
I'm looking forward to this. It's coming in October, which means that we're going to get Granblues promotions in October. We also get an animated version of the Mushroom Skewer sword.
So the more likely thing is gonna happen is it's gonna play out like Gekijo, where it's like
A
a
couple
collection.
minutes.
Well, it's a collection like 4 or 5 skits, and then that'll be it for the episode. But Gekijo has like 2 seasons, so they can have more Grand Blues.
They can just keep making it. Like this is the thing, is that so DMM FutureWorks is working on this, huh?
Oh, really?
I actually
I'm gonna
don't
check
know
who
what
worked.
they worked on as an anime.
I'm gonna check who worked on Gekijo.
Do 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 do. Sing yesterday to me. What else did they do?
People like
Bang
seeing yesterday to
Dream.
me.
What was that?
People like seeing yesterday to me.
Oh, they work on the Uma Musume 4 Comas. Okay. I understand now. They're
Same
just getting the
studio.
same studio that does the Uma Musume Pretty Derby 4 panels gag stuff. That's
I
good.
mean,
It's consistency because Umayon's actually really high quality.
yeah.
And so Cygames is apparently establishing themselves as a place that is very stable for animation. Like, did you see earlier that Princess Connect Season 2 is coming, and it's got
Oh,
pretty much the exact same staff. They all just came back.
I got super hyped for that this morning. I couldn't fall back asleep.
Princess Connect Season 2, and they're just like, so what are you going to do? Well, what's your secret to have such high quality animation? Well, our animators are salaried, they have insurance, we pay them a living wage. It's a
Seems pretty good.
miracle. It's a miracle. I don't know how we do it.
Also, the people who did Gekijo was Studio Gathering,
Okay. So
who also worked
this one's
on.
the Umayon team. If you want to see how Grand Blues is going to be animated, watch Umayon. Next up,
Yeah.
Granblue Fantasy Versus stuff. There's a lot of Granblue Fantasy Versus stuff. Holy crap! So
There was a lot.
we finished chapter 45. They added Zoe as a boss. That was fun.
That was hard.
It was hard. I was I was I was a freaking anchor around your legs. It was great. Next up,
Please,
uh,
please do Tower of Babel so you actually have full
Panacea
heal.
3. I'll do it. Fine. Um, they teased Belial.
He looks
I
so cool.
chose that phrasing very, very carefully, obviously. Um,
The shades.
at the beginning of next year is their next scheduled story update to Granblue Fantasy Versus. They have all of these like multiplayer events that they're planning. So they're going to do like boss time attack.
I'm
Um,
ready.
they're going to be doing just like a everybody's encouraged to just fight each other. There's no losing points in this mode, so you can't rank down. You just encouraged to just keep playing. Um, we
I think
have
that's fine.
we have season 2. Let's just play the season 2 trailer. You ready?
Yeah.
He's coming. I'm so happy that they have this as a fight theme available.
I really like the presentation of this.
Sweet dreams. Wait, did he just have a crouch throw? Hold on. I didn't look at that. Alright, so things that Belial's going to be coming with. Lobby Avatar, of course. Icon, 2 new quests, that's standard, just to introduce you to the character in RPG mode.
Also they also have their own story parts.
This is one that people went ape shit over.
Dude, like there was by the end of the hour there was new art.
By the end of the hour, there was so much Vegeta and Grand fan art.
Dang, she actually ate the apple.
She
I
ate
didn't
the
notice that
apple.
until now. I never noticed that until
She
now.
ate the apple. But just look at how. Like, I want this skin so badly.
It looks so cool. So, the one thing I'm scared of is that he has a type of pinwheel that always makes me scared in fighting games.
You're very traumatized by characters who can just set hurt hitboxes on the screen. I mean, so am I. So
I mean, I'm looking at Raven, and then I'm also looking at
Amelia.
Carmine.
Carmine.
Milia, yeah.
Jenna wasn't necessarily that bad, but that was the game around him.
You should see him in Marvel Infinite.
He's like top 50.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's not like
He's not Zero.
he's not King BS. He's no Winter
Oh,
Soldier. He's no
Dante.
Dante. But anyway, so Cagliostro is the second character in Part 6. Sorry, the second character out of 6 in Season 2. The way that she was described is that she's a character who can leave essentially hitboxes on the ground and in the air, where if you spring the trap, then you'll get hit. And so
Look,
she
I
can
hate
control
Testament.
the screen, like Testament.
I hate Testament so much.
Well, pretty much everyone who's ever fought Testament and is not Testament themselves hates Testament. Everybody who has fought Kokonoi and is not the Kokonoi. Actually, a lot of people who fought Kokonoi
Well,
and are the
Kokonoi,
Kokonoi hate Kokonoi.
Kokonoe's literally killed that
That game.
generation.
Yeah, you're right. Um, Byakuya's fine. He's pretty good. It took
You
him a
can actually
while to become
destroy his
good.
traps. That's the thing.
You
You
can
can
actually
destroy the webs.
you can destroy the webs. That's true. Who was the? Was there a trap character in Persona?
Yes, Naoto. And you can destroy hers.
Oh yeah, you could
You
actually
know
just
what they did?
beat
You
the
know what they
sequel.
did in Tag?
What'd they do?
They made it so that you couldn't actually destroy them with projectiles.
And she's still bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, she has an unblockable setup at least. That's kind of
Hmm.
cool.
But yeah, there's a lot to be said about Cagliostro as a choice. I really like the choice of Cagliostro. People were screaming for Vera and Sandalphon. We'll find out because there are more characters coming. So
You know something I expect though.
what's up?
With her interaction with Beelzebub about the traps that she left him in, and how he got out.
That's true. She's the one who locked him in the first place.
Yeah, that's the interaction I want to see.
So the season 2 roadmap is September 24th, Belial, at late October, Cagliostro, and then another character in December, another character at the beginning of 2021, another character in the spring of 2021, and then at the beginning of summer will be the last character in season 2. So
Because that's usually around the time that term season's like ending.
that's the beginning of summer. There's usually
Like
a
there's
break.
like a 1 month before.
The what used to be the pre-Evo lull
Yeah.
makes sense. Arc Revo Online is happening. Hopefully it go. I wish it the best, especially since people were screaming about our boy Narukami in the Granblue fantasy art style. Fukuhara was just like, we just wanted to draw a lot of these
put that image up.
characters. What was that?
Put that image up.
All right, let's put it up. Give me a second.
It looks so good.
It was earlier in the stream. It does look really good though. Next update. Is it this one?
That's actually my favorite
No, it's
part of
not.
the stream. Really, was the part where they plug Blaze through Central Fiction.
Rage. Relink. Wait. So Relink, the news was that there is no news. Where did I put the?
Was it earlier than that?
Belial trailer. Oh, I don't have that because I went back for it later and I used the official image. Sorry.
Oh well.
We can just blow up this version. Look at him. Look at him. The boy. The Granblue Fantasy team also drew Ruby, which is something that I don't think I ever thought I would say, but I was prepared for.
Yeah. Well, thanks cross tag.
Yeah, cross tag got to draw Jita, Lancelot, Percival, Fairy, and Catalina. They look all right, but I mean, look at Narukami and Ruby in GBF style. Look
Look
at
really cool.
freaking Hazama in GBF style. Look at freaking Izanagi. He's so cool.
There's also S.
Look at Izanagi. He's so cool.
That's my set play.
Let's not talk about that. Whoops.
You didn't even have to care about that with the character you played.
For one version.
Yeah, you didn't play the other version.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, let's keep moving on. There's so much to go through, and we're almost done. Then there were the extensive merchandise plugs. So
Glasses are cool.
there's a GB versus art book. They're still working on it. They're like, sorry, it's late. It's coming. There's the glasses. I'm actually buying a pair of the Belial glasses because they look really good. And I also get nervous with open frames, which is why I'm not buying any of the like Lucifer glasses or anything like that.
That's fair.
Um, Sky Compass is getting photo mode with AR, and you can take your picture with like Granblue fantasy characters against backgrounds. I feel like the old Catalina art was not the best showcase for this,
Definitely no.
but
I like the use that our friend Bako uses with for the CG one because they added that to CG like a long time ago for Starlight Stage.
hmm
So I just want to do things like that.
well, it helps with Starlight Stage that the characters are 3D. Although can you take a picture with the Poochies in photo mode in Starlight Stage?
I do not know the answer to
I'll have
this.
to look that up. I don't know photo mode very well.
Me
Um,
neither. Ask Bako.
Skyleap updates. We're gonna keep moving on. Um, so Granblue Fantasy Extra Fest, because they haven't been able to have any Extra Fest, is going to have an online shop, which means I'm going to buy as many chunky Colossuses as they let me buy. This is something for people who haven't been able to make it to Extra Fest before. They're also going to be selling Granblue Fantasy Extra Fest 2019 stuff. So they're going to let you buy the booklet that gives you some stuff. Like there'll be some things that have codes in them, for example, and they're going to sell a lot of old stuff like that. And so I'm very happy about this, largely because I'm buying at least 6 Colossuses. DJ,
What's up?
did you plan to buy a Colossus in your order?
I would have to think of doing an order first.
Can you maybe
I'll think
if there's
about it.
an item limit, could you maybe buy me two of can you get me two of those?
There usually is an item list, so I'll think about it.
Can you give me maybe like two?
Okay.
Just two Colossuses.
I'll let you know.
Two Colossuses. Just two.
Okay.
That's all I need, man. Just that's all I need. I swear this is the last time I'll ask you.
It's not the last time you'll ask me.
This is definitely the last time I'll ask you.
No.
Colossus. Just he's so fat. He's so fat, DJ.
But this is 100% not the last time you're gonna be asking me.
Too chonky. Do I actually have the fat Colossus emote in my? No, I don't. But here, I have an appropriate one. There you go. He's so chonky. All right, that's finally it. We've covered all of the news. All it took us was like 2.5 hours of bumbling and stumbling around.
Well, not that bad.
That's a roadmap for the rest of the year to come. Is there anything that you have questions about, or anything that you're nervous about first?
Or anything we forgot.
Well, let's go with what are you nervous about, DJ?
I forget because I said it earlier in the stream.
Whoops. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah. So I can't think of anything. So what are you nervous about then, Dom?
I'm nervous about the Shadowverse collab because I have no idea what Shadowverse the anime is, and
All I know from that anime is Shadowverse is not fun according to the anime.
but it's also fun according to the anime.
Yeah.
But like almost every GBF collab is with a property that I already knew, or a property that I was willing to look up, and then this one is I don't know. I don't know about this one in particular.
You want
Uh,
to watch the Shadowverse anime?
I wonder how they will make it interesting to people who are Granblue fantasy players. I'll leave it at that. What are you looking forward to the most?
Sandbox Replicard. Really, actually. Because I can't wait to just finish these evokers.
I will probably be finished with my evokers by the time Replicard Sandbox comes out. So I do wonder how they will make it interesting to people like me, because by the time November comes around, I will at least have 9 and almost have 10 of them. Because given that I hit number 7 um, yesterday, basically, and
I'm on number 5, so I'm not that far behind.
yeah, so I am a little nervous about how they'll make Replicard Sandbox interesting to people who are done with evokers without just saying, by the way, 5-star evokers, everybody, let's start all over. I live in fear of that moment.
That's fear. That's the worry.
That is a big fear. Big fear.
I'm at 88 tickets and help.
I'm at 3. So I
Yeah,
could
but that's
help, but
because
it would involve
you
you coming to
actually
my
run every
house,
day.
and then I would play. I would probably play Arcarum for
Shadowverse.
you. I have been willing to play poker for other people before.
I don't want to play poker. Man, I hate that. I hate
Do
poker.
you have Christina yet?
No, I already gave up on that dream.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Um, but yeah, what are you? So you're looking forward to Replicard Sandbox to finish. What am I looking forward to the most? I am looking forward to more Granblue Fantasy Versus content
Yeah.
because I'm just excited to see who that third character will be at the end of the year. I'm excited to see Cagliostro um, in action. She looks like she will be the bane of my existence, probably
Yep.
just by
I
the play style that comes with being a character who can set traps on the battlefield. It
look.
just
I just need more things to counter Fairy and Ran, and that'll be make me happy.
well, there's a balance patch coming out with 2.00, so um, mark your calendar for September 24th, aka the 23rd for us, is when that balance patch comes in.
It's true.
You think anything will come out of that Oda Quest thing with the KMR Fukuhara interview? We'll find out on Saturday. Sunday. That's when they're coming out.
We know the road most of the roadmap at this
We
point.
know a lot of the roadmap, so I don't know what they can possibly reveal on that Oda Quest Connect um, panel.
You know what they'll do, Dom?
What'll
A
they
tier,
do?
not a tier list, but a ranking list of their favorite characters again.
Actually, that would be really fun because so the thing is that for there we've been to a Granblue Fantasy panel at an American convention, and
You have been to. I have not.
oh, you didn't get
I got cut off.
right. All right, so here's what happened. They did a little Q&A. The Q&A was very tongue in cheek. Like one of the questions was how do Aruns wear glasses? There were also things like they put up a ranking list of their favorite characters.
Special
Um,
shout out to Carl.
yeah, um, and they did that largely because like it is a very American thing to just want to put up rankings and tier lists of everything. It's actually a channel point reward of mine if people want to trade that in order to build just force me to make a tier list of your choice. Um, but they were just like the Japanese audience doesn't want this, so we don't do it usually. Like they would accuse us of bias for anything in the future, as it
That's
is
like
right.
that's like when we try to like find some like those ranking lists of people's favorite things. It's
Hmm.
mostly American ranking lists.
Yeah, 100%. The last thing I would expect out of that maybe it would be like an art preview of like art books coming up and things like that, but they gave us no news. They just gave us just a little bit of behind the scenes info. Um, they there was a message from Nalbo,
Yeah,
so
that was cool.
and then there were prizes that people in the room could win, but there was it was for fun. Like it was not groundbreaking. It was a good way to sort of introduce things, show people who already knew about it a little bit behind the scenes. Um, Pretty much.
So don't have too high expectations, but there could be something.
Hmm. Yeah, the last time they did it at AX last year, they gave us a very brief, like 3 sentence coverage of what La Diva would play like in versus. They ran out of time, so they're just like, we can't show you anything, but this is how she plays. She's a grappler, but she doesn't like she still gets to run, which is
It's a
actually
it's a
very
big thing
important.
in a grappler.
Hmm. And like the diva can cross the screen at terrifying speed if she needs to.
Thanks, Lariat.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Anyway, that's it for this week. Next time we will have enough to talk about with the new Rise of the Beasts, but it'll be a much shorter episode. We'll mostly be talking about Rise of the Beasts and maybe the upcoming Unite and Fight. The upcoming Unite and Fight, the boss is going to be Princess Longji, which everybody expected because they're just going through all of the crest summons
Wait, hold
right
on. Let me
now.
check. Let me check what Longji does on summon.
Uh,
Because last time there was another effect, wasn't there?
the LL fight? Screw the LL fight. I don't want this anymore. So she gives mirror image on
That's
4-star.
breakable. That's breakable at least.
Is it
So
cool?
that I said breakable,
It's breakable. It was
which means there's
so
gonna be something
obnoxious.
worse.
It was so obnoxious against LL because she just got dodge everything, chance to dodge all.
Yeah, you're right. But that's because she had dodge rate up on her 4-star.
Yeah, so at least the mirror image is much more breakable. Like if you have like a Dante or something like that, a Dante Alighieri, it'll just do an
Or you,
AoE nuke at the end of the turn. Like,
or you
yeah,
summon.
how's your where is your mirror image now, lady? Anyway, DJ, thank you for joining me.
Yeah,
You've
no
brought
problem.
up some very bad memories of LL.
You're only gonna remember the last 5 minutes.
Look, I have the memory of a fly. I stayed up until 5 a.m. 2 days in a row in order to just get GBF news, and I'm doing it again this week. It's not even a news week. It's just Koyama Rikia on Granblue TV channel, DJ. He's just gonna talk about Soares.
Soares is cool.
Soares is
He-
cool, but he's not gonna talk about like any. They're not gonna talk about any new game news. They're just gonna be like, "Hey, how long have you been playing Soares?" Like the character came in what 2014.
2014.
It's like, hey, this is what I thought of him. This is who I am as a person.
It's my
Anyway,
schedule.
all right. Thanks for joining me. It's been a very long
Hmm.
episode. Let's get to rest. We've got a weekend of just Oda Quest to watch to try and see if anything interesting happens.
I
Um,
mean, I'm really excited for the DJ sets.
you know what? Going back a little bit, maybe that is what they'll show off at the Oda Quest thing because um, Fukuhara just showed a picture of the Vane figure that's on his desk because that one is
The one
going
for
through
the
final
knights, isn't
checks.
it?
What was that?
That was for the like the AR knights for from the concert experience, wasn't it? Is that the outfits?
This was the VR Knights outfits. Hold on, there's the boy. So he's got the concert Dragon Knights outfit for Vane as a figure coming up.
Maybe we'll have
Maybe
a
they'll
new figure line.
maybe
We only have like how many figures for Granblue Fantasy?
not enough.
We have like 6, if any. Because the first ones that come to mind is Dayliffy and EO, and then I
Uh,
don't remember the rest.
there's a Lyria Nendo.
Naramaya one.
There's a Narmea. There are prize figures. There is an infamously bad Cagliostro
Cagliostro
prize
one. Yeah, I remember
figure.
that.
People do not like the face on that one. Um, but yeah, there's more coming in the coming year. There were the ones from the Chinese maker that are coming up. Uh, we've got like the Zeta and Bea coming up from it was Bandai, right? Tamashii Nations. Anyway, we got a lot coming up. There's a lot to look forward to, and
Mhm.
we got a roadmap for just a tiny piece of it last week. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking around. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we'll catch you guys
actually
next
play
time.
Granblue Fantasy now.
You
See you guys in a
do
bit.
that. Catch you guys later.